Hey, welcome to the Psychic Soul Healer channel. Hey, Tony. I'm going to do a special reading for Tony today. She's my winner. If you're new to the channel, um, this is a shadow healing channel. So do I look at what's going to happen in your life? Yes, but we focus on the blocks. Why? Because a lot of times why people tune into readings is because they have anxiety about where they're going in life, what type of relationship that they're in, if they can obtain the type of relationship they want. People that are living happy and living exciting moments, they don't really need to ask people's opinions to see how well their life is going. Now, does it mean that they're not curious? Everyone's curious. But the reason why I like to do this is because there's many different realities that play out at one time, and depending on what you do is going to determine your outcome. Karma means learn. So before I do Tony's reading, I always like to invite everyone to the channel, and explain anything of any importance in relevance to the channel you find in the description box. All important links. So if you're someone that is in need of shadow healing, well, I got good news for you. I have 3 different types of subscriptions going on. One starts at $7.99. All tiers include inner child healing, shadow healing, reparenting, and healing modalities to help you heal from the effects of trauma, which would be anxiety, depression, trying to get more grounded. A lot of people that have spiritual imbalances don't feel that they have support. This channel is to help support you on your healing journey. I just always like to put that out there. Now, again, if you resonate with this channel, you want to enter into winning a free reading with me, all you need to do is like the video, subscribe to the channel, and write the word of the day. The word of the day always comes from my Psychic Soul Healer deck, which comes with a Oracle workbook. Now, this workbook helps you develop your psychic abilities, helps you heal and integrate your shadows. And when integrating, that means that there's a lot of different healing exercises, helps you deepen reflection and meditation practices, as well as I think I said, do psychic readings. So it's a very important thing. And when you heal your spiritual wounds, many times they turn into spiritual gifts. Spiritual blocks means we're stuck in a limited perception of our situation. We may feel as if we're doing everything. And I don't know why I feel this way, Tony. I'm kind of feeling like your energy, like I feel like I'm doing everything, but I'm not really sure. There's always this gray area. And so when we're clearing energy, it doesn't mean that it feels good a lot of times. We have to walk through the fear. We have to walk through the unknown, where we that hold residue from past experiences. So there's a sense of all I have is a shitty remembrance of what has happened. And though I feel as if I'm setting myself up and I'm doing everything, I still have this anxiety. And if I'm supposed to be the magnet of, who and what comes into my life, if I'm not really drawing in anything, why is that? So again, learning how to integrate the spiritual lesson means integrating it. So I hope, Tony, that you don't just get, oh, this is what's going to happen, because it's normal that everyone would have blocks. Know that. And know, again, just because it's Tony's reading, you may resonate with this energy. Again, spiritual energy works like that. We always get the message that we need, not what we want. It's again, you'll always get what you need. So sometimes you'll be like, I needed that shit. It's like you needed it to learn to see a different perception so you could balance out your behavior. We tend to either overgive or have too much expectation or not enough, trying to find our balance, and caring or not caring, too much or too little. That's the second chakra imbalance. And the second chakra happens when we are developing our unique individuality, which right now, Tony, you are in a place is what I'm just tapping into your energy first. And again, whoever else that resonates with this message, but that you're trying to find yourself, you're trying to find your style. And that's really what it is. And when you're a highly sensitive person, it can be very overstimulating because it's a lot of thoughts and it's a lot of emotions, and we just can't help but to think because you go into survival mode when you're not really quite sure, and that's everybody. So there's a sense that I can't really tap into my intuition. So we're looking, feeling a little bit of the blocks, and blocks are what prevent you from manifesting. So understand you need to train your nervous system. You need to do things like breath work and meditation. You need to retrain the nervous system. You have a root chakra imbalance because you inherited spiritual imbalances. You're actually breaking karmic contracts with ancestral. And there's a lot of us on the planet that are doing that right now. We've all been taught to live by other people's rules. And so, as a creative, and I feel like you're creative, you're a highly sensitive person, you have a lot of beautiful energy. Because you're a sensitive person, it means that you are a deep person, a feeling. And again, you do care about your future diplomacy. It's again, so it shows that you're very much in alignment with what it is that you want. So you really, I know that you really are transmuting spiritual blocks that you have inherited. And the reason why I say is that what happens with that is there is a lot of anxiety because you were conditioned in an environment. And when you're conditioned in an environment, the manifestations that come from an imbalanced environment that has conditioned you is that obviously you are going to be imbalanced. And how do you get imbalanced? Well, I get anxiety. I get overstimulated. I have a lot of thoughts. I have a lot of ideas. If anything, I have a problem grounding those ideas. I have trouble tapping into my intuition, and I don't feel comfortable in my body. These are the spiritual issues. Again, when it's ancestral, is a root chakra imbalance. So meaning that you inherited it many, many lifetimes. Unfortunately, when our ancestors lived in a war, they didn't feel comfortable in their body. Like, we've inherited things that our, families have lived through their experience. That's how they form their level of consciousness. So you're breaking that. So, but in that, you have to actually recondition the body mind connection because you have to say, well, what happens when you are blocked? Because it's not a question, will you succeed? You are succeeding. There's a level of, I'm looking for myself to fail. I'm looking for myself to get in my way. And this is how, when we have a spiritual block, how a person sabotages themselves. See, nothing can stop you from achieving. Only you can stop you. And that's by where you're choosing to put your time, your energy, your focus, and your money. And right now, part of your focus is looking on, where am I going to fall and sabotage? And you may say, that's a survival mechanism. That's, again, a root chakra imbalance. But that means you got to get a better connection to the physical body. And that is healing, because you have to say, how do you integrate a spiritual wound? Well, you have to see a different outcome, obviously. And that's by doing something different. So feeling like, again, you're that, because right now it's, again, the reactive state. Again, this will also impact your relationships, your second chakra. And that's because of overstimulation. Overstimulation, that's the mind chatter, anxiety, tend to get in our own way, but also tend to come more from past experiences. Now, are you following me? Do you have any questions? Because my job first, Tony, is to tap into your energy. And again, whoever's energy is on the channel. Okay, good. Because I feel as if you are taking steps to be successful. You are going to be successful in what it is. So I'm just pointing out the blocks. And I know that because you might say, well, how do you know? Because it's again, diplomacy is that. It means that you're coming from the right level of consciousness. And though, but we have to say what could be your block, your sabotaging behaviorism. How would you get in your own way? So again, reactive means that again you're not listening to your intuition, you're listening to like you get triggered by an outside stimuli to react, which is why you have to have a better body mind connection. And that happens again through being sensitive and being told, Tony, you need to do it this way, you need to do it that way, or whoever it is, like I said, that resonates with this. But it's like that's that's why when someone is telling you that you need to do it from their way, and really the people that are telling you are fearful, they have anxiety. So that's the ancestral karma that you've inherited. Does that make sense? Now I want you to ask me whatever question you want so that I know what to focus on, because obviously there are things that you want to know. But spirit will always answer those questions. But otherwise, I always channel what's blocking. I was telling myself how I wanted justice for the world, but have a hard time finding right. And that, but that's the justice for yourself comes in trusting yourself, right? Because why do we feel like we need justice? We feel like we need justice because we feel like there's no fairness. But what happens then is it means that you don't feel safe in yourself, because everything that happens to you is a reflection of what's going on inside. So you'd be like, I don't remember anything that's going on inside. Everything that has been going on inside has always been, I'm not really aware. So that's subconscious, and a lot of times that's inherited. So you might have not gone through the experience, but you grew up in an environment that you watched a bad relationship, you watched life was difficult. And so, and there were reasons for that because certain experiences. But when we're strong within ourselves, the spirit part of ourselves, it doesn't matter what's happening on the outside world. The illusion is that we need to control our outside in order to be strong. But really, spirit saying, no, 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 you are strong. You don't have a good, strong connection to your physical body, but you are strong. And the way that you become stronger is that you integrate your wound, which is, again, there's a disconnect from body and mind. You're a highly sensitive person, and you grew up in an environment that was very overstimulating. So what happens then is we tend to then live on a place of autopilot. But the problem is, if we were conditioned in a survival environment, you're going to come across as a reactive. So your issue will never be your craft. It will be, how well do you get along with people? Do you feel that people bully you? Do you feel like you don't have control over your life? And what you're saying is, yes, I don't feel like I have control over my life. And Spirit's saying, yes, because you need to clear that karmic program of it's, and you really have to do your own healing. Someone may say, well, I'm going to heal you. The healing process comes in the integration process. So it would be when you are, create a daily practice for yourself to help you recondition that body mind connection, so that when you are actually interactive in your life and doing what you want, that you're able to like see it again, like see you having better relationships, seeing that you're drawing better like type of relationships that are actually supporting you instead of making you feel not safe. Because understand, you have that wound because that's trauma, and that was trauma because again your environment. So yes, so again, Qigong, I've said, is a way of redirecting, and I remember that. But I feel like This is more not about like just your craft. It's like about building your business. It's about building your business so that you're the you could actually teach qigong and integrate a lot of other healing modalities into like what you do and travel, but it's then about connecting. Right, but but you have to say why is that? Because you have anxiety. Because I don't really see it. But why? It has to do with you. You're like, well, I don't really see enough. So your mind is getting in the way. And that's mainly from other people's opinions, environment. I don't really see it, but if you don't put any energy into it, you won't see it. So it's kind of like that. Because what spirit is saying is that you can have everything the way that you want. It's not one or the other. You know what that the bottom line is that if you're going to be like in the medical industry, it's good to be able to get healed, do healing from all different ways. If you're going to be of service in the community, if you're going to be, so it's because what happens then is, and you might say, well, I agree, but then what also is the benefit? And spirit says, well, that root chakra means support. On one level, you didn't have support because, again, where is the justice? So, and support doesn't just come from your environment, like your mother and your father and schools and all that, but it comes through seeing the universe conspire to bring you what you need. There's a part of you that's like, I'm unsure with a lot of my path, and that's because you're trying to figure it out all on your own within your mind instead of really being interactive with what you're great at, what you love to do. It's a passion. It's a passion, and by being interactive in it, and that might mean, hey, I need to educate people on why they would want to take my qigong. And then I need to again share it with people, and there needs to be a confidence. This is a spiritual walk when you have a talent and when you have invested in yourself already, where you have a craft, you're good at it, to be able to again utilize that because where you're sharing it. Because part of seeing support is seeing the universe conspire to bring you clients that are going to help pay for again new ventures and to help support you. And also those clients will tell you and share things that they've experienced. You'll be forced to learn more. You won't really move you. What'll happen is the universe conspires to bring you things that your intuition says, hey, I think I want to take this. And things just kind of fall into place where life becomes easy. And that's really what spirit is saying. It's like when I scan your life, that there life is, you've done a lot of work on yourself. And so again, this is a healing channel. So I'm going to always tell you what is spiritually blocking. I have to do that in order for you to walk away and actually get something out of the channel. And so really, if I'm looking at your life, you're still in the process of healing it, but this is an easier route to get you to where you need to be and actually open up new experiences and to take you out of where you are. Because part of you is like, I don't really know what this is going to look like, and I really don't know if I'm going to like it 100%. And it's like, yeah, because you're leaving yourself out. We find our style. So when it's a second chakra in balance, it means we're actually being able to go with the of our own changes. We're actually really passionate about what we're doing, and money has no energy except for the energy that we're giving it. So we're able to support ourselves. That's that first and second chakra really do work so close together. And that is how you really transmute those ancestral karmic wounds. Does that make sense? And at any time, please feel free to ask me a question. Like I said, this is your this is your reading. Did you just write that? You agree? You're listening? No questions? No questions? No questions? Well, you come back to self. There's more than just meditation. Okay. Part of you is trying to figure out what you like, what you want to do. I feel like you've had a few like non-real successful relationships. Your life has changed somewhat. And so part of you is like, I don't really know what I like, or I'm not really feeling fulfilled. So it's to take the time to be by yourself, but have a love affair with yourself. I can say, do breath work, do meditation, do like everybody knows that. Do journaling, everybody knows that. It's boring. It's like I'm just being honest. It's like yes, if I'm enjoying life and I'm passionate about life and I'm meeting new people, then I'm actually seeing what I like. Don't get into a relationship. Again, have a love affair with yourself. You don't even know what you like. You would need to you would need to go to you would need to like go to like an online class like Udemy, like an online platform, and actually see what do I like to do, and try things and find things, because part of you again is like I don't really like no. But and why I say coming back to yourself, well, birds of a feather flock together. So if you don't know what you like and who you are, you're never going to attract what you're supposed to attract in your life, and that's why, I'm you know why I'm telling you, like, it's all about, well, that's why I'm saying join things. You join things, you meet people. How do you know what you like? You won't know what you like. And relationships are something that happen over time. And the thing is, if you have a second chakra in balance, then there's a lot of trust issues there. And so, which is probably why you spend a lot of time alone now, where spirit's saying it's like, no, you have to, again, find who you are, grow yourself strong. But that's not by being an island to yourself. That's by saying, what do I like? Because how do you set boundaries? You set boundaries on what you like, what you don't like. Not to mention, any person that comes into your life, they have to see that you invest in yourself. You have to show that you love yourself enough. You to show people how you want to be treated through how you want to treat yourself. You want someone to honor you. You want someone to respect you. You want someone to invest in you. Well, you have to be proactive. You have to be proactive in your own life. You have to become that to attract that. And well, part of you is like, don't know where to invest my time. And it's like, and so, right. And also, it's like, I also don't feel well. Well, that's a root chakra issue, because that first chakra is connected to your adrenals. And that what happens, I'm thinking so much, I'm tired, I'm burnt out, I'm exhausted. That's what it feels like with it. But God says again, that second chakra, your passion. Where's your passion for life? You know that you're a creative person. You know that can do a lot of different type of healing. You know that you're musically inclined. You know that you are a creative, again, a highly sensitive person. So join things. You don't know your tribe yet. It's again, you find your tribe through knowing what you like. Then this way, like I said, you attract like-minded people, new opportunities show up in your life, and you're not doing it by yourself. Like it said, it's you, and who you are today is not going to be who you are tomorrow, especially when you're investing in yourself. So I would say join like a hiking club, join like a nature club. Like I said, part of you does join a cooking. I keep always, when I feel cooking with you, do join things that are going to help you promote your business, meaning join a holistic community, join a business networking. thing. It's like I'm here to promote who I am. It's see what the opportunities are. How would you know how to invest in a stock? How would you know where to bring your car to? How do you know? Oh, well, it's just I bring them to the corner because everybody brings them to the corner. No, it's like the guy up at the corner doesn't know what the hell he's doing. He sold that company 5 times since your parents have taken their Mitsubishi to that corner store. No, you're bringing it to like this person that is going to charge you half and does just as good of a job, if not better, to get your car back in like twice. It's this is how we know and we get a good strong sense of self when we invest in ourselves, and we don't look for other people to invest in us. We teach people, hey, if you want to be with me, you got to invest in me, because and that means your time. It doesn't necessarily mean that you have to invest money wise. What it means is I know how much I bring to the table. I don't know how much you bring to the table. So I'm going to again invest in myself. And if I see that you're not really investing, I'm not going to sit here and entertain this, because, hey, I only have so much time, energy, focus, and money. And those are my resources. Those are the elements of the physical world: my time, my energy, my focus, and my money. So that's going to go towards where I want to go, what I want to do, who I want to connect with. And I don't 100% know what that is. That's you. And Spirit says, well, you know what you're good at, you know what you like, but you don't share that. You're not, hey, I've been putting that off. And Spirit says, so you're looking for someone else to come in and do that. They're not going to do that. You have to walk through the fear. It's again, and that's the anxiety that stops you. And so God's saying, I don't really like the way that you look at yourself, Tony. It's like, well, I don't like you're going low. It's like when really it's like, hey, you're grande. It's like Spirit says you're me in physical form. So you're grande. You can have whatever it is that you're like, I don't like any of it and I don't see any of it. You're never going to see anything. Meanwhile, Tony, all this whole reading, I'm saying you're highly sensitive, which means the gift of clairsentient. When you're using clairsentient for so long time, it automatically comes claircognizance, which is I know. And it's not doesn't just do that for one person. That's how it works. So it's like you're not co-creating with God, which means you're not co-creating with the universe, because God is the universe. And so you're not, again, giving and receiving of love. Right, but and that's that, because you keep thinking that you're not enough, and that's a root chakra imbalance. So you're not listening to me. It's again, so there's a disconnect from the physical body, the physical world. And part of you is like, well, I don't know where to start. And Spirit's saying you start where you are. It's like start where you are. It's like all your degrees. Are you sharing this information? No, I don't know where. What? There's 1,000 different platforms on there. You can put little tidbits every day up on Facebook, up on Instagram. You can put little tidbits of the knowledge that you know. You could do little FaceTime, whatever. You grow over time. You meet people. You'd be like, no one's going to come to me. Spirit says you're not in charge of who comes to you. You're not the one that figures it out. All you are supposed to be doing is being like childlike, having a good time, sharing your knowledge, giving and receiving of love through your free will, which means how you decide to do it. And I'm the person that brings you the people. I'm the person that brings you the situations. Don't have a judgment. Oh, only one person came to my live stream. God says, well, you're not that good. Mastery comes in doing. Do it more. I'll bring more people. But that one person loved what you had to say. It's to do it. Part of you is like, I don't see myself. And that's a root chakra issue where Spirit's saying, you got to break this ancestral karma. It's like where other people, have designed life instead of where you are enough. In actuality, one of those certifications would have been enough. Believe it or not, if you would put enough energy towards it. But if you do a little bit every day and you're like, well, this is Tony True's be true to yourself, spiritual care, come in and talk to me, and oh, well, you need qigong. So let me show you a few moves. Oh well, oh you need this. I'm gonna do this. Oh well, and your intuition is the one that's moving you. You're not in charge of who comes to you. Right. You're not in charge. And you can do it on a number of different things because the root chakra is like, where are you putting it out there? Where is the structure? Where can we find Tony True? Where is she? Is she on Facebook? Does she have a blog? Does she have a vlog? Does she have a book? Does she do podcasts? Where is she? Is she on Twitter? Is she on Facebook? Is she on Instagram? Is she on any of the number of no? And so Spirit's saying, well, again, you're not even in charge of the people that come to you. All you need to do for crying out loud is get yourself up on a platform and hook together a payment thing and be like, well, this is what I'm offering. Then I can know because see, I'm certified. See, and Spirit uses what's in my mind. I'm not in charge of who comes to me. I'm not in charge of what comes out of my mouth. I'm just a conduit. That's what coaches are. Doesn't mean that we're not educated. We're educated and we're educated on what called to us, but then you're not sharing it. And so you're like, well, I don't know where to look. I don't know where to start. And then having judgment of, oh, I don't want to be on Facebook. What kind of person is not doing this on Facebook? God's saying, oh, are you ready to be teaching at the Coliseum? Oh, you ready for Yale? Oh, okay. Well, it's like you're not ready for Yale. We're going to start at the platform that's whatever. This is what it means to be like childlike. The child doesn't say, well, that's just a box. No, they say, that's my tree house. That's what I'm going to use. And when it rains, I'm going to go out and I'm going to find another tree house. And that's an adventure in itself of actually going out and having to find the tree house. I'm not judging. I'm not pissed off that it rained. I'm just, oh, it rained. Oh, bummer. Well, now I'm going to go out and find another one. And we went out and we found, instead of that, Johnny found a kick the can. He found a bunch of like cans and we decided to play kick the can instead. What happened to the box? I don't know. It's again, were you moving you? Were those kids moving them? No, they were just out there finding themselves, investing in themselves, being led by their intuition, utilizing their own little gifts that they have. Again, maybe one's handy with fixing things and putting things together. Maybe one's intuitive and knows when you have to come home before they get in trouble. Maybe one, it's again, and that's what happens when you're interactive in your life. You have a gift and you're connecting to other people that have a gift. And this all opens up your third eye because you're like, well, I'm in my body. I'm just doing what I love. I'm finding myself, and that's a process. But that helps me activate my third chakra, which is my solar plexus, which is my gut, intuition, inner knowing, which allows me to give and receive of love, which is again to be a healer of some sort. But it's again freestyle. I don't need to go to Harvard to do it because the universe is endless with people. I just need to be consistent. So whatever platform that I'm on, I need to be consistent, show up every day, even though I'm going to get heckled sometimes, even though the result's not going to be that great sometimes, even though I'm not going to judge the process. And this is what you need to do. Otherwise, you'll look and you'll be like, you'll always feel like you don't have enough when that's not, it's not that you don't have enough knowledge, you have enough. That's the wound. That's the root chakra wound that needs to be integrated, but you can only integrate that through, again, healing that root chakra through physically being in your body and finding yourself connecting to other people people, because support and justice a lot of times comes from people having your back, people knowing, people being able to vouch for your type of character. And the truth always comes out. So this is, then you can again be that support and give justice to other people, if that makes sense. Now, do you have any questions? because this is not a question at this point of like what, like we could say, what am I going to do? It's like you don't want to do any one thing. That's the problem. And you do a lot of different things, but they all have to do with helping, and they all have to do with healing, and they all have to do with what Spirit's saying. So we have all the ingredients to a cake, but we don't have a cake here, is what you're telling me. And you're like, yeah, kind of. And Spirit's saying, well, why? Why won't you make the cake? And you're like, well, I don't know what it's going to look like. And Spirit says, you're not going to know because it's not up to you. You'll be like, well, what do you mean it's not up to me? Well, halfway through, you might have a plan, and then, something, monkey wrenches get thrown in people's plans all the time. And if you're going to be like, that wasn't supposed to happen. That looks like shit now, and I'm not going to try it. No, it's the Spirit saying everything is perception. It's you have to find yourself. You have to have a love affair with yourself, and this should be a fun process. I got to have fun. The Spirit says, oh my God, see, you have anxiety from having fun. When I say go out and have fun, well, it means I have to do something. And God says, well, that's the energy that you need to heal. That's the anxiety. That's the shit that you inherited, where you're like, it's like I just want to make sure that I do the right thing. And Spirit says, you can't fuck up. Only you fuck up if you don't try. You fuck up if you do it like you don't put it out there. And so again, so there's a sense of there's a sense of I don't like who I am. I don't like who. And Spirit says, why? You're an amazing person. And you're like, well, it's like I don't it's gonna look stupid. And Spirit says, you don't know that. It's like, and you might get challenged because understand there will always be people out there that try to stop you, but nothing can stop you, only you stop you. So you're afraid to find your style. And really, it's like because we have all the ingredients, you are intuitive, there's a lot of platforms here. I don't understand why we're not doing it. And it's like, and then there's an emptiness. Right. Right. And that's the problem. It's like, so that by you will not unblock your light until you do it. That's the irony. Because you're like, I want to see a different version of myself. I want to see the opportunities that can come my way. And Spirit says, well, bring it. It's like you put it out there is when you'll like the energy gets matched back. Well, I don't like what it looks like. If you're afraid to put it underneath your name, put it under a different alias. I mean, start a podcast. Hey, even just doing a podcast every day on something like Blog Talk Radio, you'll get people that actually will be like, hey, I like what you have to say. And that will give you like confidence. You need to get that confidence, see that confidence back. Otherwise, you're never gonna do it. You'll never meet your tribe. You'll never be led to anything. And this will be bad. Yeah, like you want you want to just get it started, and you get it started not to where you don't want to burn yourself out where it's like, well, I'm doing it every day. It's got to be fun. So you have to like put it out there. I would definitely have my like a few social media accounts with my information, and every day put up information. If you're the expert, you have to prove it. You have to prove it. And so it's again, your knowledge is what proves it. And then it's about also connecting to other people that do it, because it's about building a community. And whenever you're building your social media, they do that. Right. And then after you do that, you might say, well, I want to be able to talk about what I do, but what I noticed is I have anxiety, or I thought it was going to be a lot easier. Then Spirit says, then go to Toastmasters. This is about how much love you invest in yourself. The root chakra is that. It's like I am loving myself enough to invest in myself. This way you're building a strong foundation. Otherwise, then what'll happen is you'll look for other people to grow you instead of you growing you. And you don't want that, because you want to be able to set appropriate boundaries. Because Who you are today is not who you are tomorrow. What you want today is not what you're going to want tomorrow. Too many people build their life on just what's happening right now. So, right. So you, right. And so you would do a thing on kidney care and then maybe do a little Qigong. It's again, and give a little tidbit so people get an essence of who you are. It's again, where's the flavor? Where's the love? Where's the, it's right now we're bland. We're having like this chicken soup that has nothing in it. It just tastes bland. You're the person that is supposed to, you're the flavor. It's like, what's going to keep people connected? What's going to keep people interactive? What's going to give people, otherwise, that second chakra is passion for life. If you're passionate about something, then you got to show it. And that's how much energy you put into it. And that's how you find your style. You find what works, you find what doesn't work. That's why I said it's a process. So it's not just, well, I put my videos out there. It's how much love, because people tend to be like, it's not going to be perfect. We shoot for excellence. There is no perfect, because you're not going to please every single person on the planet with your style. And that's okay. The people that are supposed to come and hear you will. The people that are supposed to get the message will. And that's how you build confidence. And that's how then you can be led by your gut, intuition. You're giving and receiving of love. You're able to then set boundaries. And because you there now you have something that you love that you have to protect. Some again, you're in charge of it. So you're in charge of where it grows, how much it grows. And so being able to speak your truth, set appropriate boundaries, because you will be put into situations like that, especially if you are sharing your craft, right? When we're healing the root chakra, what you're doing is you are creating yourself, and you're seeing that support doesn't come from your family, but it really comes from the universe, and it comes from you investing in you and being interactive in what you love and in becoming what you want. That's when you connect to a whole other family. A lot of times it doesn't mean you get rid of the old family, but it means that you're meeting people by your choice. You know what I mean? And those people are going to be like a family, ones that create support. So that's really what gives us momentum a lot of times too. Healing that second chakra, people forget. They just focus on, well, creating, and they forget that a lot of times they have problems within the relationship part, where your relationship, once you're interactive in what you love to do, those people are going to give you ideas. You're going to learn from them. And like, it makes you be better in your own craft, because like I said, you're learning from other people, and it's not like they're going to steal your craft or you're going to steal their craft, even if you do the same things, because your style is totally different from theirs. So I can come in and teach kidney care today too. I'm a certified holistic health coach, but my approach is not going to be the same as your approach. And oh, well, now that no one's going to come to me. No, who was supposed to come to me does, and who's supposed to come to you does. The illusion of that there's not enough to go around is what we are healing when there's a root chakra imbalance, because that means that we're seeing things from a lack perception, which makes us feel as if we're limited and that we don't have enough, which is why you kept getting certified and feel like I don't have enough, where Spirit's saying, no, you are enough, even if you only had one certification, even if you didn't have any certification. If you were passionate about what you loved and you were out there teaching it and giving it and being interactive, it would create a whole other life force onto itself. And that's when you're living your bliss. And then you're able to meet the love of your life, because then they're meeting you in a place of, hey, I have it together. It's like I'm interactive in my career. I have other friends, other hobbies, other interests, other passions. So I'm not going to give you too much. and I'm going to treat myself the right way. And that's going to teach you how I must be treated without you saying, well, I need to have that talk with this person because they're not treating me right again. Because once you have to go there, your relationship's not going to work. It's like there's like we shouldn't have to say, well, I have to teach this person on how to treat me. It's like no. If believe it or not, even the lowest vibe person, if you are honoring yourself where you're giving, they automatically know I can't come in without giving something or having this person perceive me to be a certain way because it wouldn't give me the time of day just the same way as they wouldn't go into a store and buy a Ferrari with only $10 in their fucking pocket. I never graduated like first grade. It's like, and they need to be an accountant or something. They wouldn't, people don't do that. It's like they know already. I know I can't do this. I won't get away with it. Well, that's how you want people to approach you too. It's like, I know who I am. So, and that makes people, you demand respect. And that's how you get the justice when you said, well, I can't even get justice for myself. Well, you get justice for yourself that way. Because it's like, listen, I'm not going to say a word. You're going to see it through my actions. And once you will, then you'll see the wins. Like if you start today, I can guarantee you will see wins. You might be like, oh God, it's like there is Marianne on my page again. She's crazy, you know. She's always on my page. She's the only one. I don't think she's got any teeth in her head, but she's always there rooting for me. God says, don't judge. Don't judge your process. If that's Mary Jane is the only one, let that toothless lady be happy and ask as many questions, and you better answer them happy and vibrant and give that person the love as you were teaching it at a stadium because it's the don't judge your process. Like I have to use Facebook. I have to use media. Spirit saying, we're not ready for the Coliseum. You know, you need a little work. You know, practice. Mastery comes in doing. Don't judge the process. Don't judge how much you have. It's how much love you have. And then the rest is gravy because it's the intention. And understand the universe then will bring you everything that you need. And intuitively, you'll know because you'll be grounded doing other things and in a happy vibration that you'll be like, I don't know, intuitively, I just got told this. Oh, did that intuition come on randomly? Were you doing something else? Yes, I was. I was actually like doing this and then intuitive. So you weren't thinking about what you needed to have done. You weren't like, what am I on the right track? Do I got to do this? Do I got to do this? Do I got to do this? Because it's not going to come in that way. And that's your problem. You're like, I get so overstimulated, I can't get the intuition. And Spirit says, no, because you don't let me get in a word in edgewise. You're thinking about what did happen, what might happen, what could happen, instead of only in the now do I get divine guidance. And I was just going along with my business. And how did you know? How did you know that it was intuition? Well, there was a call to action right after. Wouldn't you know? I was told, Spirit said I had to go do this. So I did it. And then I got the good result. Oh, and is this how you got confidence? Because you acted on that intuition and you saw a good result. Yes, it was. And God says, that's your support, dummy. That's me working through you, working through your environment to bring you what you need. Because all I am is the universe. And I come in the form of unconditional love. So you'll know that it's me through, again, support. So when you fall for that soulmate, no, they are supposed to be in your life, but a lot of times it's to learn. And so we don't never give anyone more energy than we give ourselves. So we have to teach people how we want to be treated, not through what you feel that they should get, because if you're in balance, you're going to give too much. And right now you're imbalanced because you're like, well, I don't really know what I'm supposed to be doing and I'm not really fulfilled. So Spirit says, oh, you're going to be in danger because the devil's sitting right over here. And this says, oh, wait, she would really like a boyfriend. That's what I think she would like. Now it's the time to send in fuck boy, number one. That's going to like screw with your head. So it's like, no, it's like you have to give yourself that love. Because believe it or not, you could even train that person, fuck boy, to treat you with respect. Believe it or not, because God says, well, I am love and I am the strongest energy. But if you're going to deal with it where you don't have any ammunition, well, then you're always going to wind up being the victim in your relationships because you don't have ammunition. You have to have a passion to fight that passion because you have to make a person surrender their ego. And if you're not giving them the attention, well, then that's what does it. It's like, and they can tell because spiritually they can feel, well, I don't feel that person's energy anymore. No, I removed it. I'm over here. I'm having a good old fucking time over here. It's like of the opportunities that could actually happen because I am over here. See, now I'm imagining I may be, you know, on some island and sipping cocktails with all the people that are here. It's again that scares that person because they're like, well, I want to actually live that life that that person's having, and why should they have that life? And really, why aren't they thinking about me? It's like usually I can manipulate to get my way. You know, I won't call, I'll go ghost. Look, I went ghost, and now she's off to the Bermuda with having a good old time, and I look like an asshole because I was ghosting, so trying to get attention. That's how you train a person. It's like, oh, do you think that I'm going to sit here and entertain this? It's like my life is a lot. I have a good old time. There's my life is full of passion. It's actually overflowing. So I have options. I have options. That's how you train a person. Not we have to talk about our relationship now. It's like because you're not respecting me. It's like it's not going to work. And what's going to happen? And they love that. They're like, oh, good. See how much you care. You want to talk about the relationship. It's like that's why I'm saying it's a goner. So when you are where you are, utilize all the stuff that you have, and now it's time to ground. And then once you're fully grounded, you will again start to find your own style. And then once you find your own style, you invest in it more, and that takes on a life force. Then you can date because then that person is seeing, oh, can we get together on Tuesday? No, we really can't because I actually have this going on. Then I have that going on. I have that. That person's saying, oh, you have such a great life. Why doesn't my life look like that? And you want people to step into their best version of themselves. If you're dealing with someone that you want to date, because a lot of times people don't even know that they have a, 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 a better version of themselves, and we all do. There's many different levels of consciousness depending on what we've learned, what we've gone through, our trauma, whatever. It's you transmute it, you get back to yourself, all through by becoming yourself. And in that, you're teaching people how you want to be treated at the same time. And then you're not over giving or under giving. You're acting from your intuition. I feel like I should see this person. They've really been around. I'm going to give them the time. I can see. And you're not so close up to the picture that you don't see what they do. See, when you're not so close up to the picture, you have good intuition. It's like I could tell. How could you tell? Well, every Friday they always call me at 6:05. This week they didn't call me. They called me at 7:02, pretending that there was something, and my intuition made me. You cut it right then and there. It's like because your intuition will always tell you right before something. It's again before a full disaster, full blown disaster comes. Like meaning you won't date a person for years and years and years and find out that they have kids. You know what I mean? You might date someone and find out that they're in a relationship, but you wouldn't, unless you sleep with them on the first night, you wouldn't get hurt because you'd be like, oh, well, I see. It doesn't feel right. How? Because people's behaviorisms. We're so close up, and if we don't have that passion there, which you don't, then like in your passion is your purpose, then that's what's going to connect you to other people with grounded and balanced and give you the support. Well, then we can see why those karmic things would happen. and why your reading was what it was and how long it was. It was that because, hey, like you're in dangerous territory because you're still coming from a place of not enough, and you already have a shit ton of things. So that's a thing where you don't feel like you're enough, and that's a shadow, and we don't like it. So what does spirit say? I'm going to close this out because I want to say, hey, what does spirit say that we're supposed to deal with this? I mean, heal it, because aside from doing, because my thing is, listen, we can do all the shadow work and go back to what has happened and all this. But if you recreate new experiences, then what'll happen is you'll recreate new neurological pathways in your mind. So, automatic behaviorisms that come from trauma that are sabotaging, where you get in your own way, which is what I said, Tony, would happen if you did not uh, really ground. Well, then it's like it's to do. You wouldn't try and take like a spoon to dig out dirt that's in a cup of water. You're never going to get all the dirt out. You're going to pour clean water into the cup till that dirt floats out. The more clean water that goes in, the more dirt that comes out. Eventually, the cup will be clearer. We'll probably never get it 100% clear, but you'll get it where the cup is full and it's clean instead of one scoop. You'll never get there. So it's just a different approach on healing because you want to see results. Seeing results allows you to integrate the spiritual lesson, being able to quantum jump into the reality that you want. But if we were to sit there and do shadow work, which is like an exercise, what would it be? Observe yourself. So, I say this says, for one day, pay close attention to your emotional reactions and write them down in a journal. Don't judge them. Just pretend you are a scientist observing them. So, like, look at intentions, look at your emotions, and look at your triggers, because your triggers will tell you what you feel blocked in. They help us like navigate more. And really, at this point, I knew what your trigger was. Your trigger is like you said, you're like, I don't feel like I have enough. I don't know where to begin. I have all these different things. And that's how your reading pretty much started. So you just have to start. But then when you're doing it, observe your thoughts and notice how many times you insult yourself. Notice how many times you don't like the platform, because there really isn't a platform. Notice how many times someone says something to you that you don't really like. Again, sometimes people make comments and there's nothing really, it's just their opinion. Notice how many times you get triggered, because that's really how the gateway to shadow work. And then it says use, well, I say I wouldn't do all this. I'm going to use colored paper. Like if we want to take a lot of time, we can use colored paper, crayons, paint, clay, or any kind of creative medium. Don't overthink the process. Simply allow yourself to create anything that expresses your emotions creatively. Well, here I'm not telling you to draw or do any of that. What I'm telling you to do is express yourself creatively. It's like within your craft. It's like you're at that point. You want to see a different version of yourself. You want to return back to yourself. You don't even know who you are. So you're returning to yourself by becoming yourself. And that's a joyous process. And that is really when you want to observe yourself and when you get triggered. Because, well, that person made me feel stupid. And then it's to say, well, are you stupid? And why did you feel that? And how would you handle it next time? And what was that person's perception? Maybe the person was crazy. And so sometimes maybe it's to train yourself not to care. I know, unfortunately, highly sensitive people have to do that. We're very sensitive, and in that, people tend to hurt us. So it's the way that we handle it. And sometimes we're like, well, maybe then I shouldn't do it. And Spirit says, don't let people stop you. Nothing can stop you. You stop you by your opinion. That's again why you haven't started. So use the platform, see how it unfolds, and the rest comes into play. Do you have any other questions? Does anyone have any questions? So that is your reading, Tony. I hope you enjoyed your reading. And again, if anyone wants to enter into winning a free reading with me, I think I said it in the beginning, like the word that you'd have to say. Don't remember. But does anyone have any other questions? If not, good. You have to let me know how it goes because, like I said, you're already doing it. We looked at the blocks. Now you have ammunition and you have tools to help you through your triggers. And like I said, it's not about not getting triggered. You'll get triggered, but it's how it's you're being asked to remember, observe yourself, how you deal with those triggers. So if something makes you feel like it means more self mastery in the actual craft, it actually comes from doing. It's so that you'll heal. But I'm glad that it helped. And thank you for listening. And I will see you all again soon. Bye.